guys, it is Scruffy and Jinyo, and either you're joining us for the first time, or hopefully you've been with us already. We are doing one episode a day of the original Star Trek to celebrate 50 years of awesomeness. So it is now day 5, episode 5, which is The Enemy Within.
The Enemy Within. We're going back to October 6th, 1966. And we're starting our show now.
This is one of my favorites.
Oh, this episode gets crazy.
I'm so excited.
Crazy.
These rocks are better than some of the other rocks.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And you got the unicorn dog.
Which is technically, I believe, the Alpha 177 dog.
Oh, okay.
Is its actual, species or planet designation?
That's the designation.
Name. Oh! Mm-hmm. But, it's the unicorn dog. Anyone into Star Trek just calls it the unicorn dog.
Yeah. And
it's my most favorite alien creature of all time. All time. I feel like people want to make fun of it being like a dog in an adorable little suit.
It's in a fur coat.
It's so cute. But, it's the 60s, and it's a really detailed costume, because it's not like they just threw some fur on him. The costume specifically has no ears.
Right.
It's got little red and white striped antennas. It's got its little unicorn horn. Yeah. And then it's got, this kind of reptilian snake rat tail, and some scales. It's like a super involved costume.
Right, it's got that weird kind of texture going down its back.
One of the more detailed costumes that, most of the human characters that guest on each episode don't have costumes that detailed.
That's very true. That's very true.
You know, they have no idea, who that dog is.
What do you mean they have no idea?
I don't think there's any records of, the dog's name, or, who owned it, or was it from, a pet talent agency?
Really?
Yeah, I saw someone's blog where they were trying to identify
Oh, there's the radiation
dog.
Meter again that they used from The Naked Time. Yeah, so you tried to find out where they got the dog.
I don't think anyone...
And there's just no record
of it. Well, think about it. It would have been just, grab a dog for the day or whatever. Or
they just grabbed a dog off the street.
What if it was someone's pet? I don't know.
Stuffed it into a fur coat.
And 50 years later, if that information wasn't kept anywhere, it is, long gone.
Oh, that's long gone. That is long gone.
But props to that little dog.
Yeah.
So, would it have been unusual, I'm going to ask some maybe stupid questions like this occasionally, to see an African-American in a role?
I don't think so. This was 1966, so you had plenty of shows with African-Americans.
Oh no, he's not making it! Yeah, that was rough.
Oh, that was very arduous.
What is that like if you, oh my god, a headache. If you're getting transported up and you feel it not working, that's gotta be
that's gotta freak you out.
In the world.
That is probably the number one reason why McCoy hates to be on the transporter.
Yeah, I'm betting that happened to him once.
Yeah. Nope. Hey, and it didn't transport his insignia.
What the hell?
It didn't transport Kirk's insignia. He's got no insignia on his chest.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I've just never noticed that. Is that on purpose, or is that a mistake?
It's definitely not on purpose. It's gotta be
a mistake.
Well, according to union rules back then... Oh no! There's another Kirk!
It's the music. Wait for the music. Where is it? Stay forever.
In case you are wondering if this Kirk is a little bit sinister, they leave no doubt. But no, according to union rules at the time, they had to launder the costumes on a daily basis.
Oh, I bet they sweated in like there was nobody's business.
Yeah, so,
That velour does not breathe.
Exactly. And to protect, the artists from being in a dirty costume.
Yeah.
They insisted on the costumes being laundered every day.
So you're saying that when they made this, they were out of...
But the thing is, they would remove the insignia and the rank braids when they laundered it.
Interesting. And have to sew them on?
Yeah, and they would have to sew them back on. So, because I guess the patches didn't hold up that well.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, that would explain why there was a missing insignia. That or else it disappeared in the transporter accident.
I mean, because there's only one. You get? I'm so confused.
Well, we didn't get a good look at the second Kirk's chest.
Because it zoomed up to his amazing face.
Oh, see? No insignia.
Interesting. See, Alpha 177, so it's now 177 K9.
Yep.
Oh, I love this episode so much.
Kirk, like Shatner gets to act like he gets to freaking act. I don't know why he acts like he's never been in a transporter room before.
Or he like wants to make love to the control panel.
He's just a ball of lust.
Straight up wants to molest that.
He just wants to have sex with anything at this point.
Am I the captain? What?
Yeah.
Oh, he thinks I'm the captain. I mean, come on. These are just... Oh, I love Shatner's acting.
So he's got his insignia back now. So everything's okay. Or is it?
Oh. I just want to hold him. Ooh.
That's all I want from you. Get out. He must really be feeling out of it if he shuts down Yeoman Rand that quickly.
And he's just ignoring his duties.
Yeah.
He loved his duties. And we're going to blowtorch your hand, and everything will be better. And then Windex it.
A little Windex.
Magically done! I mean, Windex does have a lot of uses. So.
That's true. Oh, he knows what he wants.
The way he stalks into the room.
At this point, he wants two things. He wants to have sex with the transporter console, and he wants a drink.
Why is he not looking at people?
Oh, snap.
That was terrifyingly violent. You would think McCoy is like, okay, something ain't right with him.
Yeah, exactly.
We got
Yay! Sorry and Brandy, yes, our Sorry and Brandy bottle.
We need more of them.
That's what I always reach for whenever I'm been split into my transporter.
Some booze. Uh-oh. Now for the most uncomfortable part of this entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's just water in there?
It's Saurian brandy.
I swear to God.
He didn't ask for a water bottle. Oh man, what if McCoy handed him a water bottle? I bet you McCoy would be dead right now.
Hello. Somebody. Oh, somebody's got little tiny whities on.
Yeah, he does have tiny whities on.
I guess his insignia is a little bit off kilter. Now I'm gonna like pay attention to that. Like, whoa.
Yeah, he's just gonna be staring at the insignias.
Also, like, he couldn't be bothered to put a shirt on in front of his first officer because, you know, that's normal.
Why?
Why bother? They're best friends. They're best buddies.
Oh, he knows that look all right. Yeah, Spock's giving him a look.
And now you're here without your shirt on, so.
Oh, poor Spock can't understand jokes.
Oh, Spock looks a little pissy there. Yay, puppy! That dog is really cute.
Yeah. He's very well behaved.
I know, it just hangs out there.
So now we've got the return of the green wrap.
Yes. Which is kind of super important.
Yeah, it's crucial because it gives us that immediate reminder of who's the aggressive Kirk and who's the passive Kirk.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to know what they did to make that dog angry for those shots.
Yeah.
So transporter malfunction, dog's been split in two. They don't realize Kirk's been split in two.
And he's like, oh my.
But enough stuff is weird, that Sulu and the rest of the landing party have to stay down below on a planet that is rapidly turning to nightfall.
Right.
And they're boned.
Yes.
I love that wig.
Now, apparently, I think it was Richard Matheson who wrote this episode, is a fairly famous science fiction writer. Like, he wrote I Am Legend.
He's in her room, and does he have eyeliner?
Oh, he definitely has guy liner.
Sexy as hell.
He's got the guy liner on.
Oh, God. Did he, like, start the guy liner movement of, like, the kind of sexy, evil guy? Because, like, Jack Sparrow and Hook from Once Upon a Time, like, they all got that.
Oh, yeah, and they're both captains.
Cool eyeliner.
See?
all roguish, kind of, maybe evil.
Captains, yep.
Chaotic neutral or something. Oh. I thought O's. I love the decision to put eyeliner on him. It's amazing.
Yeah. Ah. He goes straight in there, open mouth and everything.
So this is never not uncomfortable to watch.
Oh, I know. And, like, there's a lot of talk about how Star Trek pushed boundaries with its content, you know, with, like, racial boundaries and gender boundaries. But this was definitely a boundary that was pushed. Having the lead character, its captain, the hero...
Sexually assault.
Right, attempt to rape another cast member.
Character.
Yes. A crew member.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because in the 60s, they're still floating the opinion that... What, men can take what they want?
Well, this was still beyond what would be acceptable behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the network was definitely iffy on the whole topic.
Well, yeah, because your main character is supposed to be your hero. He can't do something so heinous as that. Oh, I spilled nail polish all over my fingers.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just straight up heinous.
Right. As I was saying before, Richard Matheson, who wrote this, he was a fairly well-known science fiction writer.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote I Am Legend. He wrote that episode of Twilight Zone that Shatner was in, Nightmare
really?
at 20,000 Feet.
With the gremlins?
Yeah, with the gremlins on the airplane wing. And apparently he got this idea. He was inspired by Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. Well, because it's such a classic Jekyll and Hyde storyline going on here.
Right.
It's good and evil. In a person.
Right. Although it's not specifically good and evil. It's like...
Is it the id and super ego? Or?
Yeah, kind of. Or it's aggression and passivity. Compassion and aggression.
Dealing with this whole, like, that there actually are two physical Kirks running around,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that she was assaulted by one, but then she is in front of the other one when she's telling what happened, and then he's obviously like, I didn't do that to you, and I don't have any scratches on my face, which is then basically calling her a liar, and it's such a fascinating scene to present. I would like to think it's trying to make a statement on the
way that women's accusations of rape are often dismissed or overlooked. I think there was an anecdote in this book, Grace Lee Whitney's autobiography, where she talks about this scene where she's recounting the assault.
Mm-hmm.
She was having trouble, I guess, getting to that emotional level. And it was getting near lunchtime, and everybody was worried about having to shoot through lunch. So Shatner suddenly, unexpectedly, slapped her in the face.
Did he?
Yeah. To get her
Holy
to that
crap.
emotional level. And then she did the scene in one take.
Yeah. I'd want to say, like, bravo, that's kind of a method acting, but then maybe he just was really hungry.
Yeah. He just did not want to miss lunch. Shatner was not a dieter.
In his Leonard book, like, there is some stories about lunch and crews and how, like, they all really intensely ran to lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was maybe, like, their one meal of the day of, like, in between all those long hours of shooting.
Yeah.
And, how Nimoy had cheated a couple times. He's cheated, because he had a bike and he would bike to where they had lunch. He'd always beat everyone else. Because you always wanted to be like one of the first to get food.
Right.
And so there was a bit of a war where Shatner stole his bike a couple times and hid it away from him.
Oh, wow.
So lunch was a serious thing for these guys. Everyone gets to hold little dog. Is the dog even in there?
Probably. It seemed like a pretty well-behaved dog.
Yeah, I can see his little nose. Okay.
Yeah. But I love the fact that in sort of Sherlock Holmesian style, Spock cuts right to the meat of things.
Yeah.
They're not like spending a lot of time wondering, how could this have happened? Or, what could
it happened.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? Logically, there's only one explanation. Boom, there's an imposter. Settled.
Yeah. You got a yeoman who's been assaulted. You've got another crew member who's also been assaulted. This is not just fantasies of the mind or something.
Right.
There's something going on.
And you can tell if the whole scratch physical evidence thing wasn't enough evidence. You could just tell that everyone's telling the truth. He's telling the truth that he didn't do anything like that.
Yeah.
And they're telling the truth that it actually happened.
And the fact that they have the two dogs, so. So I love how it's not maybe until this scene where you're really starting to realize there's a difference between the two Kirks.
Yeah.
You've seen the, I'll say quote-unquote, evil Kirk being super aggressive. But I feel like it's only about here that you're suddenly realizing the other Kirk is wishy-washy as fuck.
Right. Which is really a great way to go
can't make a damn
with
decision.
The character.
Flops that dog over.
Yeah, because he's lost that spark of command. That assertiveness.
Oh, he's so sad. He's just so lost and weak.
But I love this way to go with the characters, because it is easy to just be like, oh, one's good and one's evil. But to instead break it down,
so much more layered than that.
One is compassionate, but
indecisive.
Lacks that assertiveness you need to be a commander.
Yeah.
And one is just pure aggression.
Aggression and passion.
Right.
Which can be very much on the,
right.
One bleeds into the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, snap! But he is you.
Yeah.
I have those.
Oh. Imposter may be identified by scratches on his face and the liberal use of eyeliner.
He's got such pretty eyes, though, with the eyeliner on.
They do make his eyes pop.
Oh. Stunning force.
And he's understandably mad, because he is Captain Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
He's just as much Captain Kirk as the other Captain Kirk. Now, granted, here, Shatner's accusations of overacting...
It's BS. It's still BS.
I could see it a little bit here.
He's committed to his role.
But he is.
And I feel like that's what, like, throws people off, is they always think, oh, that's overacting. And it's like, I think it's just that it makes sometimes an audience member uncomfortable to see someone go so far.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Because...
It's totally realistic.
Because his acting when he is the passive
also,
Kirk...
I love how he, like, basically according to Captain Kirk, like, I take way too long putting on makeup.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because he just covered up his scratches and, like, blah, blah, and then some towel, blah, blah.
Well, to be fair...
I just took, like, 30 minutes.
To be fair, he probably took, like, 25 minutes putting on the eyeliner. Oh, snap!
That's not okay.
You just judo chopped that dude.
Meanwhile, this is the first time we cut back to Sulu and the landing party.
Right.
Who are freezing to death. And it's like, meh.
They duplicated.
Oops.
Oh, they won't operate. You don't have, like, a good heater and a bad heater.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Well, at least the captain didn't murder the dude.
He's got some restraint.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Although we don't know whether Wilson was sexually assaulted, because it could have happened. You don't know. You really don't know.
Don't make light of that. I feel like Spock's just really into this. He's just like, oh, this is such a great little mystery going on.
It is. It's got to be fascinating to him.
Mm-hmm. The split, and then to see how his captain is behaving so differently.
Right. Because it's basically like sifting out two ends of the emotional spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Which he has totally no interest
not in touch with.
Still using those great tan belts.
Yeah.
I love how he's like keep reminding that it's stun, not kill.
Well, he knows this captain doesn't exactly have all his marbles together. Did you set it to stun, not kill?
I don't wanna.
What if I have to shoot somebody?
I love how he's just trying to kind of prompt him on being a captain.
Yeah. It's like he's trying to push him to be a captain. Or at least fake it till you make it.
Oh god, he's a monkey.
Now, I love this scene. This is a fantastic scene for Star Trek. And for Spock, specifically.
Mm-hmm. Whoop. Hello.
Also, Kirk gets to be a little ninja monkey.
I know! He's all about being physical in his roles.
Yeah, but...
Oh, no.
Yeah, see, he's got the Type 1 phaser.
Yeah.
Only.
Oh, the little handheld one. Okay.
Right, exactly.
He's so just aimlessly wandering around.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't even have his phaser ready.
It's just really
Whereas the other Kirk can barely keep himself from shooting everything.
He's just not into this. I love I can totally tell it's a stunt guy.
Yeah.
It's just instantly easy to see it's a stunt dude. He's so sweaty.
He is sweaty.
So sweaty.
He got that half of Captain Kirk.
And that was definitely not Shatner's body from the back. Even though that one is the weaker one, he's got things figured out.
Yeah. Like, I love the scene because we're just cutting back and forth between Shatner's, but without even any dialogue, you can look on his face and know which one is...
He's an amazing actor!
He is an amazing actor.
Oh.
Here it is! Yes! Yeah, he would have disintegrated.
Is that the first time we have
That is the first time we have the
time?
Vulcan neck pinch.
Yes.
Because in the script, it said... Spock jumps out and KOs the double. Like, actually KOs, which is a boxing term meaning knocks out. And so Spock was on set, and he's thinking... Yeah, Nimoy's on set, he's thinking, you know, for a Vulcan who's supposed to be intelligent, and, you know, for a show that's supposed to be so humanistic and not just, like, running around with guns a-blazing, he should come up with a better way to deal with the bad guy. So,
he's a pacifist. He wouldn't do that.
He invents this neck pinch on his own, and then shows it to the director of the episode.
Yeah.
And Shatner helps him by, like, they demonstrate it, and
I think it's adorable.
Shatner totally does it.
Like,
and
best buddies.
That's how the Vulcan nerve pinch became part of the canon.
Yeah. Because Nimoy's a genius.
Yeah. And at that time, they call it the FSNP.
He's so, like, his eyes are like, so excited, even though the rest of his face is fairly neutral. Of, like, yes, don't you see the split of the people and how cool it is?
Mm-hmm.
This is amazing.
Yeah. At that time, they called it the FSNP, which stood for the famous Spock neck pinch.
What?
That's what they referred to it as.
Oh, that's all that matters to him.
He's like, I don't want to fight.
Oh. Because I kind of It's because I am insensitive.
If I seem insensitive, it's because I'm insensitive.
You nailed it. Good for you. Sulu's gonna die.
Now, here's the thing. At no point has anyone said, you know what, maybe we should send a shuttlecraft down to pick up Sulu and the gang.
Oh my god, why hasn't that happened? Is it like the atmosphere or something? Or it's just like skipped over?
It's skipped over completely in the episode. And I believe the reason is because, you know, you're only a few episodes into the show.
And they hadn't even done the shuttle yet?
They hadn't even built a shuttle or the shuttle bay yet. So I guess the writers hadn't even thought of shuttle.
Mm-hmm. Sulu is legit dying, freezing to death, and he just keeps, like, quipping
He's got those zingers.
Yeah.
He's got his zingers.
Because he has nothing left at this point.
I'm gonna freeze to death. I may as well freeze to death drunk.
Oh god, there are definitely gonna be Starfleet-sicles.
Yeah. And we've still forgotten about the shuttlecraft.
I love that triangle table.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
Now, see, we actually see him, like, messing with the phaser to turn it into a little heater thing.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is also first.
Mm-hmm. That it has all these variable settings.
Mm-hmm.
Can just evaporate someone from existence.
Right.
And it can stun them, and then...
Yeah. Or it can heat up rocks.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why they couldn't, like...
do a bunch of those?
Yeah, heat up a bunch of rocks so they're not all huddling together. But, you know, maybe they gotta conserve battery power.
Let's just all joke about you freezing to death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. Nothing works. So they're having a whole, like, Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Apparently. Or they already used one up for heat.
What do you think they're doing? Okay, sorry, it's like the one part where I can't.
The man does commit to a role.
Yes, he does.
The man does
yes, he
commit.
Does.
Oh, look at that distaste on his face.
Well, yeah. He hates everything that he sees in front of him.
It's like, I need this disgusting part of me inside me in order to function.
And he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to assault his yeoman.
Mm-hmm.
And it is crude and...
Well, it didn't just try to assault. It did assault her and several other crewmen. And you can't even make the excuse of, oh, that was a duplicate. That was like an imposter. It's like, no, that's actually part of you. And you need that part to be part of you.
Nope.
I will heal you with the power of compassion.
And that was like the most confidence we've seen this Kirk have.
Yeah.
This whole time. He's right in the room.
I know. Come on, Kirk. Insensitive.
Inappropriate. My favorite glasses ever that are impossible to find.
Yeah.
I'm still convinced they're like candlestick holders.
I'm pretty sure they must be.
Human.
Guys, I can hear you.
Right here. They keep saying negative side, but it's just like in a really inappropriate way to categorize that part of himself. I feel like it's more of a compassion versus aggression.
Yeah.
You know. Or
because if it was just goodness, then sure, he could still command. He could lead.
Yeah.
Just make the right choice.
But it's the fact that like he lacks aggression and passion.
Yeah. Assertiveness even.
And he's just intellect and a little bit of goody two-shoe feelings.
Mm-hmm.
He's so creepy when he's his aggressive self.
He is creepy. He's like, ha! They found an answer!
That dog! It's so docile. I don't understand.
Yeah, because that's the docile half. Then there's the aggressive half that's in that cage.
How is it docile? What did they feed it? Not a fan of animal testing, but you gotta.
Mm-hmm. Besides, it's the only other split
Scotty just
thing.
like ran into that dog. He just like shoves against it. See, what did they wave in front of that poor old dog's face to make it growly?
Yeah.
Scotty, it doesn't help if you like look like you're gonna attack it back. Also, why is like Spock even like afraid?
Hey, even Vulcans don't want to get bitten.
Mm-hmm. He's dealt with a Salat. Come on. They're so cute. I don't understand why, like, CBS has never made, like, little stuffed animals of the unicorn dog. Because I want one so bad.
Yeah, if you can make a freaking Mr. Spock teddy bear, then why can't you make a unicorn dog?
Why don't I have a unicorn dog plush? He's so cute.
Do you think it made it? I hope it made it.
You're such a dick. You're such a dick.
It's such a cute little animal. I hope it made it.
Love how McCoy arrives just in time for, like, he's not necessary to do this check, but he's there.
Well, he's the closest they have to a veterinarian.
McCoy's like, uh-oh.
Well, one of them was sedated when they were sent down. You think it could be oh, no.
Is that the first time that McCoy says?
He's dead, Jim?
Yeah.
I don't remember him saying that before.
Yeah, so far. He's dead, Jim.
So I guess the unicorn dog did not make it.
Did not make it. I feel like Spock's going out of his way in his report to be like, Captain's totally fine, he is totally good, but I'm just kind of stepping in for a second. Like, he just doesn't really want to put in an official report that he basically should be pulled from command.
Yeah. He's almost literally half a man.
He goes out of his way, like, don't agree with me.
Yeah.
I don't like it when you do it. Equals dead.
Mm-hmm.
Logical. McCoy is giving so many grumpy faces.
I don't feel like the other Kirk necessarily has command of his emotions.
No. I love this is like the whatever apex climax of his indecision.
Yeah, I love this scene for that.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That
no,
good.
your plan sounds good too.
Yeah. Oh.
No, what you say?
Oh,
let's do that. You know I don't trust those things.
Yeah, they're gonna die, and you're my best buddy, so give me like 5 minutes for an autopsy?
Oh, what if they send him through? Would you get like a human Spock and a Vulcan Spock?
I think there's a lot of fanfics for that.
I bet there is. I bet there's like fanfics where they get split and start making out.
Why would you even
Because that's what fanfic is always about.
Have you even read one? Oh, he's such a weenie.
Yeah, he's very vulnerable, and yet it's kind of difficult to
see. That's the point where
sympathize with him too much.
See, he's got to. Like, the second he says somebody make the decision for me, and Spock's like, oh man,
right. He's still got the balls to
also
not want to surrender command.
Maybe it's like a really straightforward, like remedial way to show indecision, but it's like the first time we see Kirk like wring his hands, and I love it because it's specifically an action that like Shatner does in other episodes.
That's true.
When Kirk is affected by some alien force or some virus or whatever, that's him freaking out.
Look how freaked out he is on his face.
I know. You mean acting?
Yes.
Amazing acting.
It is amazing.
Enter sad violin music. I really love this cowboy look with the whole, wrap top and the little holster.
Sidearm.
Yeah, holster sidearm belt. It's quite dashing. Oh, they are about to die.
They must be out of batteries in their phasers, because
yeah,
they've got actual frost forming on their bodies.
Yes. Everyone else is unconscious. He's still barely there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there were 3 men down there, and they all looked unconscious.
I know,
So,
I was about to say.
Did he just miscount, or...
Or is one of them dead?
I think that would be like a fun costume to do at a con. Just go get the little like orange
The
emergency blanket, and then just like get that like hairspray.
Mm-hmm. The frost spray.
Yeah, the stuff for like the whatever you wash it out, and just do that for your head and face.
Yeah. And they have multiple colors.
And you just get to go wrapped with that like around you.
Yeah, holding your little frosty communicator.
Yes.
I feel like he might be lying. After the rest
This one's obviously the better actor.
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing! That was an amazing feint. Quote unquote feint. Oh god, he's gonna knock you out. Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. I'm gonna punch wrestle you. Punch wrestle you to the ground.
Oh, and then backhand you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my scars are hurting.
And I'm gonna scratch your face.
Oh, this is so uncomfortable because you know it's someone that assaulted her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you believe it? It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Yes. Very much so.
I just
Okay with that.
I just love how brutally bare this episode is in this whole concept of sexual assault and everything. It is so uncomfortable, like, just to see what Yeoman Rand is having to deal with on, like, you know, something happened to her, but then she's been, I don't know, convinced that it didn't happen to her, but she knows it happened to her, and then the one that she thinks is there to protect her is the wrong one, and also uncomfortable and gross.
At least they didn't, like, invalidate her accusation. You know what I mean?
All they say is like, well, I don't have scratches, and that's
right.
it. They leave it at that.
How could it have been me? And then suddenly they realize, oh, okay, it did happen to you.
He's Captain Kirk. I love how, like, the more he tries to prove that he's the good one, that the more obvious he is shooting himself in the foot.
Yeah.
Because McCoy...
He just doesn't have the discipline to fake it.
Well, he keeps talking and getting more and more agitated. And McCoy and Spock are like, dude, please, seriously? Like...
Right. Oh,
God.
snap.
I think it's interesting because, I think it's natural, and they obviously kind of, the storyline goes that way. That obviously you side with what is the weaker captain and seeing everything from his point of view, but it is kind of fascinating to try to see it from the aggressive Captain Kirk side.
Yeah.
Of, like, the sheer and utter panic of, I mean, that's his ship.
Yeah.
And they're trying to take it away from him.
And he is the Captain Kirk.
Yes.
Except he's got the scratches on the wrong side of his face here.
Is that because they reversed the camera? Or did
it's because they reversed it.
Oh, he's such a weenie. It's not often you get to hold yourself.
That's the side of himself that's always being suppressed through discipline. Yeah. And
as it is with every human, because there are these basically wild natural tendencies that it is your brain that keeps control of it. Like, his compassionate side doesn't want it because he sees it as, like, just gross and disgusting, but then his aggressive side doesn't want it because he sees it as, like, well, I'm just going to be, like,
suppressed
killed. Yeah.
and weakened.
Wow, he really held himself.
He's trying to push him into his body. He's trying to, I want you inside me. That's what he's saying. Do you think it'll work?
Also, where is Scotty during all this? Because he was the one who was dealing with the...
That's true. Yeah.
Transporter stuff.
Yeah.
The whole time. And then...
So you'd think he would be here helping operate the machinery.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it when they have these moments where it's just the triumvirate. Because it's this really intense moment for all three of them to see.
Or all four of them when there's two Kirks.
He didn't fall over. A little bit. Oh. And also, where did he not have his little belt?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
Disappear? He's like, and like Spock almost smiles. He's like, yeah. There's my captain.
There
Meanwhile, the away team is like almost dead.
Right.
I think they'll make it. They're fine. He's not an imposter, though. His other self. But it's obviously a lot easier, I think, to tell the crew it was like a doppelganger.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to explain the kind of deep nuances of... Like, no one wants to actually know that that's actually part of it.
Yeah.
Like he's the one that needs to like apologize to her, and then I was always really uncomfortable with how this episode ends, where it's like she's the one that has to be all
right.
And then what kind of line is that?
Yeah,
like,
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Like, I love this really, really dirty look she gives him, but like, yeah. So basically, this last minute of this episode really, really damages the entire overall episode.
Yeah.
And it really bothers me. Because it was massively inappropriate for her to seem like she is the one that needs to be uncomfortable and feel sorry about the situation when she freaking got sexually molested by a part of the captain.
Or then, for Spock to imply that, but wasn't that kind of pleasurable
wouldn't you be into
when Kirk
being
was
thrown
trying
around?
to rape you?
And I am actually rather shocked that Nimoy would have been okay with saying that line, given the context of what's happening in the episode. But
yeah.
the only kind of saving grace is that amazingly dirty look that Yeoman Rand gives him.
Right.
When he says that to her, and that she's
can
about
kind
to
of
slap him.
Yeah, you can kind of read that as being like, no, that's inappropriate. Fuck you.
Like, I'll try to pass it as like, well, he's Vulcan, and to him, he's not seeing it as like a way human would. Just more stating the facts of interesting qualities, aren't they? Like, because interesting can mean bad and good.
I wouldn't mind if this episode cut off like 2 lines earlier.
Yeah, basically.
But I'm glad that they at least dealt with her sort of... Like, they put a bow on her storyline rather than just ignoring it completely. Yeah. And being like, oh, the captain's back, so everything's okay. You know, that moment when she confronts the quote-unquote imposter in the hallway... And
he's like, I can come to your room later,
where he's
right?
like, no, I'm sorry that shit happened, but it's cool, right? And she's like... You know, she's got this look on her face because she's like confronting her aggressor. Yeah. And it's really kind of traumatizing.
Now, what I really loved about the Kirk autobiography that came out is that the first half deals with a handful of the episodes in kind of in detail. As in, like, it kind of is happening storyline wise, and then other ones just kind of get glossed over. Yeah. But the events of Enemy Within get dealt with, and I just really loved kind of how they decided to work that in, if we're going to treat the books as canon, you know. Canon interpretations of that he, you know, writing these as an older man, it's basically that he is forever, like, haunted and horrified by what happened during that entire transporter malfunction incident, and what happened with Yeoman Rand. That if I remember correctly, that he actually puts in for Yeoman Rand to get transferred because he really can't deal with the situation. Like, it's makes him so uncomfortable. And like McCoy is kind of like, you can't run away from your problems, but Kirk is kind of shuts him down on, like, you know, sometimes I'll let you convince me to do other stuff, but like, just shut up. Like, I cannot deal with the situation, and I can't look at her and deal with what I did, because it's not an imposter. He did this. A part of him was capable of doing this to another person, and so I really love that is addressed in the autobiography.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It's such a juicy bit of delving into a character.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah, it's a nice kind of follow up to that episode and everything that happens.
Right, that it wasn't just an episode to him, that it actually meant something, and he wasn't kidding when he said, I saw a part of myself that no man should ever have to see.
Yeah. So, like, kind of my 2 favorite bits in the autobiography are his references to Gary Mitchell, and then forever being haunted and seeing Gary Mitchell's face basically every day in his mind, having to murder his best friend, and this incident with Yeoman Rand, and knowing that there's this ugly part of him that's capable of doing something like that. Wow. Yeah. It's a good book. It's a good book.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Too much talking. Thanks for being with us for this episode. And join us next time for episode 6, Mud's Women.
I feel like I keep saying I'm so excited, but I'm so excited about every episode. And this is one.
There's a lot of good episodes. Mud's Women is a good episode.
First season has a lot of amazing episodes.
Yeah. All right. Later.
See you.